Thanks for having us. My role is brief, but thanks for doing this. I'm glad you guys are all pulling together today. My name is Alison Higgins. I'm the Sustainability Coordinator for the City of Key West. I do all things green: energy, water, solid waste, transportation, horse manure giveaways, tomato seeds, you name it, I've dug in it. Actually, and I used to be involved with GLEE, Green Living Energy Education. I remember a ways back we did a Green Realtor training with a bunch of folks. Did anybody take that original training, get that certification? Good to see you guys still out there. One of the first things I got to do when I came on the job is we overhauled the city's comprehensive plan. That's kind of the big guidance document that shows us where to go. And what's really neat about being able to do that, we got 52 new items of sustainability written directly into that. The other thing that happened is because we finally had updated our comprehensive plan, we were able to get residential units permits to give out again. So that's where BPAS, the Building Permit Allocation System, came along. We just released the first year's worth of BPAS units got approved a couple of months ago. Our second ones, the application closes Friday. But I'm really excited to say that, so with BPAS, this is an exact example of what the changes to the comprehensive plan have turned into on the ground. For a BPAS unit, there are 3 prerequisites. It's like the county's ROGO. Number 1 is it has to have a basic green building certification. All the basic levels of either LEED or Florida Green Building Council. If anybody has tracked that, you'd know that if you carry a green certification, they've found in even major and rural areas that those properties sell closer to the original price listing, and they sell a little bit quicker than the rest. So that's a big deal. Number 2, it has to be at least 1.5 feet above flood. Keeps our stuff high and dry for longer, which also helps on insurance. And 3, it has to have a cistern. One of the reasons we made that a prerequisite and why that was important was because so we put it in a reverse osmosis plant, not we, the Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority did, because we were hitting our peaks way early than what the South Florida Water Management District would allow. So what they decided that they would give us our highest amount allocation from the well field, we'd get no more extra ever. If we wanted more water, we had to make it. So they actually pull that water from the brackish level, which takes a lot less effort to then use reverse osmosis and turn into fresh water. However, every gallon of that is about 7 times more expensive than what comes out of our regular freshwater aquifer. And the more we can keep from turning that on, the cheaper everybody's bills are. So the one thing they found, one of the reasons why we've traditionally had the lowest per capita water use in the entire state of Florida, the Keys had, however, we're catching up. And when the aqueduct looked into the reasons why that might be happening, the biggest thing they saw, and it's not direct correlation, is that with every second home, you usually got a lot of fresh new landscaping and a pool. The good, both of which take a lot of water. The good news is it doesn't have to be potable water. That actually can be fulfilled by what comes from the sky. So that was one of the reasons why we put the cisterns into that. And that helps us in a couple different ways too. Not only is it conserving water, it helps us with stormwater. Every drop captured before it gets into the streets helps with flooding issues down. We don't really have that much topography, but you know what I mean. And Front Street, yeah. Helps with Front Street. And so the cool thing that happened with that is we also had some really great partnerships. So you're going to hear from, we worked with Rick Leitner, who's with the American Rainwater Catchment Association, as well as with mosquito control, because we don't want to put in a bunch of mosquito breeding machines. We want to do it right the first time. So we've worked with them and with the local chapter of the U.S. Green Building Council. And we've held a lot of classes on how to, not only with the cistern side of things, but about the green building certifications and the projects you can do with that. So, future projects, this is my last little bit. 1, if you want to know anything that's going on, I've got an e-newsletter that goes out monthly. I will send this around. You can give me your info. One of the things I really want to do that's been on my list for a while is working to green your MLS. so that if you come across a house with green features, not just certification, but even specific things, you can actually help put those, people can search for them, and you can help sell the house quicker. So that's it. I'm going to turn it over to these guys and start this around, and I'll be in the back. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard McChesney, and I'm going to briefly speak about BPAS, but not the actual application itself, but some of the threshold issues you need to know about to know if your property can even be a candidate for it. So obviously you need to identify a property, or if you have a client who has a property, you need to pull up City of Key West zoning map, which are found on the website here, and determine the zoning district for your property. And that's important because each district in the city has special requirements, and one amongst those is the density. So for example, the single family district, which is the majority of Newtown, they provide for 8 dwelling units per acre. So an acre is 43,560 square feet. If you divide the number of dwelling units by the square footage, that gives you 5,445 square feet. So for every 5,445 square feet, you're entitled to 1 unit. So if you had a 12,000 square foot lot in the SF district, you'd be entitled to 2 units. So that's really what you need to determine first and foremost, because if you don't have the density, but for a few exceptions, you're not going to be able to go forward and get a second unit. So that's really important in determining if your property is a candidate. From that point, you have setbacks, dimensional requirements that are important as well, but you can get a variance for those things. So those things are a little bit less serious and can be worked around. So once you've determined that and you go forward with the application process, the 2 other things you want to know about are the difference between the minor renovation and the major construction or major renovation. It's basically, there's 2 subparts that you'll fall under the application. So any new construction or renovation that is more than 50% of the assessed value of the property is going to put you in that first category, and that's got more requirements, and it's a little harder to comply with, but it's good requirements, such as what Alison talked about with all the green building requirements. So anything under 50% of the assessed value of the property would be a minor renovation. So those are really the things you want to think about. All that information is available online on the city's website, the zoning map, and also the code of ordinances, which is going to lay out all your districts. So
You said assessed value?
that's correct, and that's on the property appraiser's website. You can look that up. It's all there for you online as well.
So the total assessed house and land?
Just the building, actually, yeah, so that's important as well. And you can determine that number, what it's going to take, by discussing with your contractor, getting a quote for what the work's going to be. So, thank you guys.